Woo! Okay,
We did it.
we're getting better, but it's also part of my things that I'm pulling away are getting quite small in front of my face.
We
So,
we took a hot minute to do that one. We just sat there for a long time. I didn't know if you were waiting for me or I was waiting for you. So it was a whole thing.
yeah, could be the short. We'll see. We'll see. Just us awkwardly
It
setting up in the beginning.
could be.
So,
Um,
yeah, Mike, you wanna start us off with our little channel update that we're gonna go through?
oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. So, um, last week we made quite a lot of jokes about Luke having trench foot. Um, R.I.P. Luke, huh? No, but Luke has decided he's gonna pull back a little bit from the show. He's still like a fan. He's still a part of it. He'll still come on from time to time, but he just figured timing wise, he's not going to have the time with law school coming up and just his yeah um, area to record with his brother. But so it's not going to happen. But that's okay. We push forward. Pat and I are going to have to learn a lot more about editing and marketing and pretty much Luke ran the show. Where Pat and I just showed up and we're the talent.
Hey, whoa. Okay. Wow. So I thought I was the one that was supposed to say things that expose people on the podcast, but here we are. We're just airing the dirty laundry. Yeah, Mike
No,
and I are famous coasters. So,
yeah,
like I
listen,
said in the first episode, it will be rough again for a little bit. For a little bit.
we love Luke. We're gonna miss him. He'll be back on the show as a guest from time to time, but for now he is gonna take a back seat. So Pat and I press forward. We're still gonna be the three old friends. We're gonna have a lot of guests coming up. We kind of talked about that in the last episode. And technically, I've missed two episodes. Luke has now missed two episodes. I think we only have like 7 or 8 episodes. So the amount of
This
episodes where all
this will
three of
be
us are
episode
actually
7.
nice. So we've had 3 episodes where we're all together. Pat is really the only true friend.
That's me.
Uh, Pat is the only true friend. Which, um, shout out our topic for tonight will be friendship. So we'll dive into that in a little bit. But first, Pat, I'll give you a moment to if you want to say anything or comment, and then we'll get into our weeks.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely. Like Luke, best of luck. We're all rooting for you. Best law school is going to be hard. Obviously, Mike and I did our victory lap of undergrad and we were like, "Okay, that's it. We're not going for anything else." So, power to you. So,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
Right on. I also want to clarify. I did a summer victory lap. I didn't do a full year.
I did the full victory lap and I am not ashamed to say
I didn't do it. I just want to say I didn't do the full. I did a little bit of a victory lap.
Oh, you did like
Anyway,
you did like a little celebration.
yeah,
You would have got the
I
flag
did.
thrown in a football game.
I said I did an encore. I did an encore performance for 8 weeks. I said I just can't go out the way I'm going out. I need one more. Give me one more class and give me time with my wife. And let's do this thing. Let's rock and roll. Uh, but anyway, we digress. Luke, hope that trench foot heals up. And we miss you, buddy. But Pat, what about your week? How's your week been?
Aw, dude, my week has been crazy. So my mom is actually like retiring at the
Whoa.
end of this week. Like Monday, she's going in and handing all of her stuff in. So I I went and to her retirement dinner, which was nice of whoever was paying because I didn't know any of these people, and it was just like all these like work jokes and everything, and all these people I didn't know, and it was just like kind of weird that I was there, but it was nice to see like all these people, and it was cool to see like when we get together how like we just like pick up and have a good time and like laugh about everything and just like reflect on things and like how great was that. It was like that kind of thing, and it was really nice, you know, looking back
Right
and
on.
being like, wow, all these people really appreciated my mom and what she did, and they're all gonna miss her a lot. And it was really cool that I got to see that because I just see her when she's home. That's how I see her. but all these
I'm sure
people
you're tired.
say that she's like tough as anything and like won't take crap from anybody. And of course, me being her son is like, wow, she takes a lot of crap from me. So it was yeah, it was a good time. And then from there, I famously every year, I know you have been a part of it, I have to do the mulch in all of my surrounding gardens that were in my Morristown house. And I have like 5 or 6 different kind of sizable sections with a lot of very pointy plants. It makes the whole process very uncomfortable. But I did that for the end of the week and then came back here and celebrated my girlfriend's 26th birthday, which is a startling number to hear. that's whew, that's pretty old, you know. I'm the baby again. So I can say things like, oh, how weird. We're 2 years apart now. You're weird for dating somebody this young, and all those fun jokes that I get to make until September, and then it no longer becomes funny.
Yeah. Then you find out you're 25 and you're like, oh,
I
Christ, what am
know,
I
I
doing with
know.
my life?
The quarter of a century thing is really going to hit me hard. I'm already preparing for it, but yeah, it's been a good week. I've been looking positively at things because I've received a few like rejection letters from different things that I've applied for that I felt really excited about, and it's kind of like given me a second to look back and just be like, man, I have so much that I wouldn't change at this point. If I have to like take a back seat and get like a temporary job, meet some people, get some experience doing things before I find something in my field, that'll just be okay. And of course, my family is all like, "Oh, you have funds. Just wait around until you get a job." And it's like, yeah. So I've been looking around, and I made the mistake of telling my mom about it, and she said something along the lines of one of the jobs I was applying to. She was like, "Oh, that kind of thing is beneath you." And the only thing I thought in my mind is if I don't work for like a lot longer, the only thing beneath me is going to be the poverty line. So like I gotta like get on it. So luckily
What?
today I oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say just like what happened to the because you had a couple of jobs where I thought they were interested that you pretty much had in the bag.
Yeah, so this whole like experience of getting out of college and applying for jobs and everything for me has been very strange because I've technically been hired to 2 jobs. I got hired to the ski instructor position, which I never heard anything from. It's April. We're not skiing anymore, so I don't know what happened to that. And then I got the USPS job, which I thought I would hear from a lot sooner, but I actually heard from them today. Somebody contacted me and was like, "Hey, we want to do your fingerprints if you're still interested in the job." So I'm going to call them back tomorrow and be like, "Yeah, I'm definitely interested." So I will be one of the men in blue. I'm
Hey,
pretty excited
that's
about it.
good.
Yeah, and then my other job I interviewed before I went to Niagara Falls, and I just the guy when I was leaving was just like, if you have any more questions, like feel free to reach out and contact me. I could not find his email anywhere. He's one of these guys where you read the name and you're just like, you could shout that name on the street and like 5 people would turn around. So I couldn't just like, type it up and find it or anything. And yeah, they informed me today that they liked me a lot to like apply for other positions, but they were looking for someone with like, I think it was better qualifications or something like, I don't know. Something, like cheek and tongue, like, you did good, but we hired somebody else kind of thing. So, yeah, it's just, and the other government thing hasn't even gotten back to me. They said they would contact me like the week after. It's been like 3 weeks. So, it's been a pretty rocky road from me getting to find something that I can do temporarily even.
Mm.
So, it's been difficult for me personally, like a lot of like doubt and like I can't do this kind of thing and like what am I doing? But at the end of the day, it's like I have all of the pieces to my life that I kind of want at this point, except a good job. So I think I'm doing something right. I'm just losing money relatively rapidly, and I need to start bailing out my ship, kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's been my week. It's been a up and down roller coaster of emotions through and through. But I've decided that I'm going to be the bigger man. I don't know to who. I guess to life in general. I'm just gonna keep smiling. I'm gonna love what I have. So
Right on.
I bet you weren't expecting that little life dump right there, but
No, but hey,
hold
it's
that.
good. That's like, yeah. One of my friends from college also experienced like the same sort of struggle, like right out, like trying to figure out, like find a job. It's like crazy, right? Because like he applied to Target and like Walmart, and they declined him. Uh, and he was like I can't even get a job to Target. And so he was like wrestling with like the same like emotions of like what am I doing? What's like value and purpose, and meaning, whatever. It was hard. Like it was a hard season for him, but like he found something. Doesn't love it, but he found something. And I mean, listen, UPS, USPS, not UPS, USPS, um, is a start, and at least money, and then you can start looking for a job, and you're like, okay, I'm making money now. Like you said, bailing out the ship.
Yeah,
Listen, I get it. I'm thinking about that for my next step. I'm here for another year, but then I'm right there with you.
yeah. My
Job
my
hunting.
advice would be definitely start applying about like six 6 months out before you're like attempting to do anything because
Yeah,
people take a while to like get back, and then obviously you have to like follow up, and they'll like do a
yeah.
bunch of other stuff. And I very stupidly was like, oh, I'll wait until I get there to like find something because I was engrossed in my summer job, my last hurrah before I had to be an adult. And
Well,
that's very in character for me because now here I am.
or you go back for another summer.
Listen, I already dropped the bomb that I can't make it. You know,
Uh,
so I've already burned the bridge behind me, and there's no bridge in front of me at this point. So I'm just kind of
fair enough.
I'm on my little island right now, just trying to build my civilization.
Okay,
Very
well,
very analogy heavy today. I'm gonna try to tone that back a little bit.
fair. My week's been good. My week's been good. I say I think I said I went to see Fantastic Beasts
You did mention
in
that
the
last
last
week,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, well, okay, turns out Dumbledore's gay. Spoiler alert. You'll have to put that this episode contains spoilers. He is it's not like a central plot of the movie by at all. Like but but it is kind of implied in the beginning. At least that was my opinion, my thought. But anyway, uh loved it. I should preface that I loved the movie. I thought it was fantastic. It did make me want to move to New York City. It did make me want to wear fancy clothes all day long, and live in the 20s, which technically we are, but the 1920s,
Hmm.
looks incredible. Um, Again, my opinion, hot take. I get it. Um, but yeah, no, it's fun. I haven't seen the first two, so preface that with that. You can watch the third one without seeing the first two. Um, but yeah, that was good. Um, and then other than that, my week has been pretty normal, pretty chill. Some students here at UW in our ministry put on a boxing night, and like it wasn't like some rinky-dink thing in their like house. They like rented out a gym, like at the Civic Center here in town, which costs a lot of money. And then they built a ring. They like built um a ring. They made like a poster that they sent about everywhere. And then they like bought all the equipment, and then they live streamed it on Twitch. And anyway, I helped I helped them put it on, which was kind of fun. I'll be honest, it was kind of fun. And we had like a whole table with like yeah one guy brought his computer and like a camera, and he had his monitor, and he was the one that was running the live stream and Twitch and the video and all the things. Then they had like an actual sound system, and then they had like commentators who used like an actual mic to commentate on the Twitch, and then they had judges who dressed up in suits, and then they had like a guy running like the time for the rounds, the bell, walk-in songs, all that stuff. And yeah, like they even like did walk-in songs. They had like refreshments, like some girl made like 60 homemade pizza rolls, which were incredible. She's a great cook. Um, and like yeah, it was just like talking about it was like a big thing. We made Barstool, Wyoming. So if you want to check out Barstool, Wyoming, we made the post because there was like a dance battle in it. It was funny.
Listen,
The,
we'll this will be my first act as marketing. I will put a link to that on
yeah,
social media
the
or in the description of the video here. So maybe you could go check that out and give Mike a little bit of love.
the if you so that it's on YouTube too. The live stream, they recorded it and put it on YouTube. And it's an hour and a half long with all the edits. Uh, but you'll see me a couple of times because I acted in a lot of roles. I was one of the trainers for two of the fighters because there was three fights. And so I was bringing in the chair, giving him water, talking to him, helping him out. But I was also pretty much like the producer, if you will, of like, okay, we got to get this going, we got to get this guy out, making sure people were, where they needed to be, making sure everything was running smooth. And I was also censorship to make sure we weren't getting sued for mentioning different things that we weren't supposed to, all that kind of stuff. I wore a lot of hats. You'll see me walking around.
What
If
happened when
you
the
want.
two people that you were coaching went up against each other?
No, they didn't go up against each other. They were in two different fights. They were. I
Okay,
was.
okay.
Yeah. And I'm won't brag, but I'm 2-0 as a coach. 2-0.
Ooh.
I did nothing. I can say I did absolutely nothing. I had no part in their success. It was all them. I just told the one guy, so they're one of the fighters, not the one I was coaching, but his opponent. His nickname was the Milkman, and so he had a Gatorade bottle filled with milk, and that's what he was drinking during the like timeouts, or in between rounds. And I just kept telling my guy that I was coaching, I was like, just smack him in the gut, and the guy will puke it everywhere because he's just been pounding milk. He's just been pounding milk. So if you just get one good punch right in the gut, like he's gonna puke it all over, and you've won this, hands down. Um, that didn't actually happen, but he did win. He did win. He did win the fight. He just didn't punch him in the gut and milk spew everywhere.
That's
Uh,
good.
that was that.
I don't think you're allowed to
Um,
show that kind of thing on Twitch.
what?
That spewing part. I think you would actually just get like
Well,
canceled. So
you know,
your advice is good but bad at the same time.
yeah, but they got 55 people to show up. They needed 100 because they're doing $5 a ticket. And they needed 100 people to show up to break even. And they got 50, like 50, 55, somewhere in that range. I'm not 100% sure how many paid. Like I think at least 50 paid, but I don't know because there's a stragglers. I
Mm.
wasn't sure if they paid, but so they got half their money back. It was like $500 to put this thing on, and they were okay taking the loss as college students. I was like, "Are you nuts?" I was like, "I'm not putting a penny to this. I will show up and I will have a good time, but I am not putting a penny towards this." And I got in for free because I was helping run it. But yeah, it was quite the event. It was quite fun. So um, that was my Saturday. Um, I'm trying to think. I didn't do anything Friday. Can't even Can't even remember. I don't think
it's it's been a long week, man. If you can't remember, just
I here's the thing. My week is pretty boring. I do the same thing like every day. Like it's not like a wild crazy schedule. Like I'm pretty routine, pretty mundane, uh which like is good and bad all at the same time. Because yeah, I know what I'm doing. I can do it well. I know how to do my job. I feel like I'm pretty good at my job. But I'm like, okay, like I don't have any social life outside of this. So
mm,
I need to get that up.
mm,
So that's kind of where I'm at. But like I said, like it's one of those things where it's like it's been a good week and just like, yeah, like nothing bad has happened. So I don't know, like a content week, you could say. But
mm. Very tame. Nothing
yeah, very
nothing
yeah.
stand that's what I would call a good week. Is when you can look back and be like, "Wow, nothing really happened." It's like, nothing bad happened.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, so topic tonight, our topic, and we kind of hinted at this earlier, but and it's kind of the title of our our podcast, Three Old Friends, but we're going to talk about friendship, and specifically, I think we're going to look at, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Pat, but we're going to look at friendship like through the years, like through seasons of life. Um, what friendship looked like in high school, and we can lump childhood into that, like childhood and high school
Hmm.
into one, friendship in college, and then friendship outside. And then Pat's got a special little challenge for us, so as a teaser for
That
keep you
that's
interested.
true. I was thinking about segueing into it when you were saying that you. Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Yeah,
Uh, yeah, no spoilers, Pat. No
no
spoilers.
spoilies. No, you got to
You
keep
gotta
listening. Sucks to be you,
you gotta keep
listener.
listening. You gotta listen for the next 40 minutes till we get there. So buckle in.
Yeah, as we go off on multiple side tangents. So, to start off, I think that making friends in high school and like childhood, just easy game. You just your parents set everything up for you. You can basically just tell your parents, "Hey, I don't want to like hang out with this person anymore," and you just won't. You know, they'll make sure that you're nice and comfortable, and that you are not with people you don't like. And as it progresses, obviously, high school, it's like I can make my own choices now. I have to put up with people because I don't have my guardian to just say like, "Hey, let me talk to your guardian so that I can
Right,
drop
right.
off my kid and have the day off." So
Yeah.
high school, you're kind of like doing your own thing, and in college, you're just pushed into like a lump with all these random people, and you're just kind of forced to be friends with them like from the get go. The people you live with, pretty much, and then from there you have to go and like explore your interests and meet people that way. And I just think that post college, I mean, obviously because of the state of the world has been a little different for us. So maybe not like in general, but I think that meeting new people post college has been brutal. I don't know about you, but like, man, it's just gotten to the point where I know I'm not a very social creature. And I don't think I have the skills to just like walk up to somebody in my development or like at a store and just be like, "Hey man, I like that. Like like let's talk more about whatever it is." I can't see myself doing it, you know?
Yeah, well, and you don't really want to invite people to your hoagie porch, you know?
No, it's my sacred place. The only the
It's,
tried and true people get to
it's
go
you and your
get to go
dogs.
on.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah. Actually, that did happen the other day. It was nice enough. I got a hoagie. I literally let the dogs on the porch, closed it, and they were just like walking around, barking at whatever was walking by. And I just had my feet up, eating a hoagie, and I was like, "This is life."
Yeah.
And the worst part was that was like the highlight of my night. You know, like
Yeah.
if I had friends, I could like talk about other things, but I'm sitting here eating a hoagie on the porch as my dogs are preventing strangers from coming anywhere near me.
For those that, because I think I've mentioned that joke a couple of times, but
Yeah, without context.
a couple months back, all our friends, we hopped on a FaceTime. I don't know how it happened, but it just kind of started building. It was us, and then a couple other guys joined, and then pretty soon it was just like our whole friend group was just on this massive FaceTime, and then it devolved into giving tours of our places. Because now, one of our buddies moved to Ohio, and Pat moved out to the middle of nowhere.
I
And
was waiting to see if
you
you
know,
even remember the name. I knew you didn't.
I couldn't, I can't. Elizabethtown?
Listen, I can't hear you from Laramie, Wyoming.
Is it Elizabethtown?
I'm near Elizabethtown.
Lancaster?
I'm near Lancaster.
I got no idea where you are.
That's okay.
I
I
have no
won't tell
idea.
you. I'll let you sweat it out. But anyway,
Oh,
back
jeez.
to the story.
Anyway, we were just talking, and we bas- basically Pat was giving it was his turn to give a tour of his place, and um he was talking about the porch, and I just thought it was so funny to just like ask like with a straight face, like is that where you eat hoagies? Because like it's totally normal thing you could do. Like yes, it's kind of weird, but at the same time, it's like, well, I guess I could. I guess I could. And, like, something about it just made me laugh. Just envisioning Pat just pounding hoagies on the porch, and so I haven't let it go because I like to dig things, to bury things deep into the ground
You really
when they're
do.
not. But yeah, so it's funny that you actually did that. That you
I
actually
you know
ate a hoagie on the porch.
that's the beauty of having your own space. Is if I want to eat hoagies on the porch and have my tiny dogs bark at strangers, that's the life I'm gonna live in that moment.
And you're telling me you're not making friends doing that? Come on.
I'm telling you, I had like I think I was in like short shorts too. I had just like I sleep in like I got these like really tiny shorts for cross country in high school. And for
Uh,
some reason, I didn't give them back. I don't know if I was supposed to, but I just like wear them to bed because they're really comfortable. And I just wake up and sometimes I forget that I am wearing very little and I will go on the porch. So I think that I was eating a sandwich on the porch in short shorts.
right on,
So I'm sure that the
right on.
people walking by a little faster were not because the dog's barking, but because I'm on the second floor and they could, you know, see
Yeah.
right up the pant leg.
Oh man, that's good. That's
Yeah,
rich.
that's
Anyway,
it's yeah, I don't really know how to transition out of this now that
no, no,
that
no.
mental image is
Yeah.
in my brain, and I have to
I'll
apologize to a couple people that walked by, I think.
I'll go back to what you said, Pat. And I want to agree and also disagree all at the same time. I agree with you, like your like summary of college, right? Like basically you all, for the most part, like obviously there are not traditional college students, people that aren't 18, people right out of high school, coming to school. But for the most part, like most Americans, like we go high school, senior, and then you just become a freshman in college. Like that's just kind of the natural progression of things. And so everybody is in the same boat as you. Everybody is like, I don't know this place. I've never lived away from my parents. I like don't have any friends here for the most part. Like some people do, but for the most part, people you're new to a place. I don't know how this college thing works, and so you kind of like just naturally make friends out of like your I don't
Necessity.
know what I'm doing. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't know what I'm doing. You don't know what you're doing. And I think Pat and I both had like super like successful like dorms experiences. Like I know a lot of people have like horror stories of the dorms, but I believe I could say, Pat, you had a good experience, and I know I
Oh
had a good
yeah, I
experience.
did. I did. I did.
Um, some of my favorite memories come from my freshman year living in the dorms, because a lot of my best friends lived there, all on the same floor, and still are my best friends to this day. But this is where I disagree with you. I think high school is very similar to college in the sense of like it's just natural. This is just what you do. Like everybody's in the same boat. Everybody is in the same season of life. And
Mm,
especially well, not necessarily college can differ a little bit, but high school like everybody is a 15-year-old freshman, then everybody gets their license together, and then everybody um um, you know, turns 18 the same year. Everybody, all you have like the natural things that you all go through together, Um, up until senior year, it's everybody does the same thing. So it's like kind of like out of necessity, maybe not a bad word, but like you're just doing the same thing. It's the same kind of like season, right? Whereas like where I think where you're coming from, and I can relate, for different reasons, but like after college is really hard to make friends because like you realize your friends no longer become maybe the same age as you, or maybe they're not doing the exact same thing as you. Because once you get out of college, like some people like Luke, goes to grad school, like and Pat and I aren't going to grad school, and like I have a job in like ministry, and Pat, you know what, like you're USPS, like we're very we're very like it's very different fields, very
mm-hmm.
different um career paths, and like people move, like people get jobs, like a lot. One of my friends, he graduated from UW same time I did, and now lives in Virginia Beach. And so like it's just you just move. People move, and like people get married, people have kids. Like you just all of a sudden are not at the like same stage of life as everybody else. Your friends have to become kind of like not like what you've seen friends be like in high school or in college, um, which has been really hard for me, and something I've like wrestled with a lot, um, especially coming out of college. Like I live in Laramie, Wyoming, the same town that I went to college in. So I was here for 4 years, and I had all of these friends and all of these memories, and we were all in college together. And now I'm like out of college for 2 years. Um, and all of my friends left because Laramie, Wyoming is not a place like it's not a career place unless you're working for the university, or you're working like in public services, or doing what I do, I guess. Um, but other than that, there's like no business here. There's no reason to stay. There's not a lot of jobs, or job opportunities, and so people leave. People naturally they'll go down to Denver because that's the closest biggest city, and they'll work there. And there's a ton of jobs there. And so like all of my friends left, and I stayed. And there's like I think for a long time I was under the assumption I need to find other single 23, 24 year olds, and those are my friends because we're in the same like season of life, if you will.
Mm.
But like I'm learning, and I think slowly, it's like okay, that's not like my friendships anymore. My friendships like one of the guys like that's been like a good friend to me this past year that we've hung out and gotten coffee and gone to movies, and we've watched football, and just hung out. His name is Jean. He's married. He's a year older than me. He's a grad student, getting his master's in petroleum engineering. So shout out.
Wow.
He just defended his thesis, and so he's gonna graduate. I'm gonna get him a gift. But
Yeah, good for him.
yeah, but like we are not in the same season of life. We are doing completely different things, but we can still like we still have a like a friendship,
Hmm.
and we still have a good friendship. And like another good friend of mine is 36, and he has two kids. But he goes to my church. He works at the university, and so like I've seen him around, and I know him, and we hang out all the time and get meals, and that's become like friendship there. And like I think too, like sorry, I'm kind of on a soapbox, but
No, please. This is beautiful. Keep going.
this is like a topic I've been thinking about a lot because I've been wrestling with this in my own life. But like another one of my friends, we actually did go to college together. And like I said, like if you get a job in like public services, and so like not like not like a utilities worker, but he's a teacher. He teaches Spanish immersion at one of the elementary schools here in town. Um, and we get a beer every month or month and a half, and we catch up and we chat and we laugh and we joke, and that's like friendship, like that becomes friendship. We're doing different things. We're not walking shoulder to shoulder, together, um, like doing the exact same thing, where it was in high school, where it was in college. Like a lot of our bonds are formed through commonality. And I think like post college forces us to make friendships not out of commonality. Or I guess yes, in commonality in like the sense of like, oh, hobbies or things that we like,
Hmm.
but not out of like, oh, this is what we are like we're both in ministry, or we're both USPS workers. I don't know. I don't know if that makes any sense.
I think it does. I think it does make a lot of sense because I kind of did the same thing where I kind of hung out, where we grew up a little bit longer because I was still holding on to like our friend group. Like I think the last time all 9 or 10 of us was together was
Mhm.
probably a good like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And like I just stayed throughout the year and like into the summers, and I just was just kind of like hoping that everything would remain the way that it was in high school kind of
Yeah.
thing. And I personally got stuck in that mode where
Yeah.
I kind of felt like I had to be there. I don't know why. It felt like this kind of obligation, and it really kind of prevented me from like moving forward with you know my own thing because that's kind of me in a nutshell is I usually put other people before myself. And in this one instance, it took a lot of convincing for me to, up and go, but
Mm.
I'm glad I did because at the same time I felt like I was just kind of there and not
Mm.
progressing forward in my life experience. No offense to my mom or anything. She's a wonderful person, but it just felt right that I had my own like responsibility and everything because I I am not the kind of person that has had a lot of responsibility in my life. I've been
Mm.
luckily very well treated and have not very much experience in doing a lot of stuff on my own. Not I don't really know why. But it's just kind of like how the cards fell and it's just been a good wake up call for me that I had a very very charmed life that I had and transitioning from that and you know seeing that my friends are all doing great wherever they are makes me feel good that I'm here but
Mm.
not everybody has a friendship podcast where we sit around and we BS every week. So it's good to hear that people are doing well with what they're doing, kind of thing. Because I felt kind of responsible for kind of like solidifying our group a little bit when I was like the last person to kind of join the mix and then everybody just kind of like stuck together for years and years and we still frequently talk to everybody. So it kind of felt like if I wasn't there, then the group wasn't there anymore.
Mm.
So,
Yeah. No, I mean, I fall victim to that like all the time too, because like with like our like even yeah like there's nine of us I believe 9 or 10, um, but you know it's it's like different, it's like it's just it becomes different as much as we don't want it to be different.
hmm
um, and even like in college too, like some of my best friends, like I said, like the memories I have here in Laramie are just so different now because like I was thinking, like I was legit thinking about our friend Brian, because he, like, and he'll be on the show, but he did community college for 2 years, and the rest of us left, and we all went different places, different schools, and we all had new friends and new adventures, and we were like, oh, look at all this stuff, and he was like still stuck at home, and then he eventually left. He went to Kansas, and now he's in California, and he's been
now he has
world
more
traveler. He
interesting
went to
lives
Montana.
than all of us
Yeah,
combined.
yeah, he took those 2 years, but then he started zipping and zapping all over the place. He's lived in more of the country than Pat and I have, but um, yeah, like I can't imagine like now like being that of like okay, I had 4 years. College was great, and then all of my friends left, and I'm like that guy that stayed 2 extra years. I'm like that guy that did commute. I'm Brian, like very similar. Of like my friends still come back here, and then they all get together, and it's a reunion. They're like, oh my gosh, it's a big party, and we hang out. But like for me, it's just so different because it's hard because it's like this like I live here, and like you guys all disappear and go do your crazy lives, and then I just kind of like stay doing the same things over and over again.
mm.
And it's like I don't have that like adventure or whatever, but like yeah, just it's just different. Like it becomes different, and we like I love the past, and I love when we get together, we always shoot the breeze and talk about all the different memories and stories, and it's usually the same 10 stories, but it just makes us laugh every time. Like and that's like the beauty of it, right? Like that's good friendship. That's you can still laugh about the old stuff. It doesn't never gets old. Um, One of our friends, Andrew, his dad passed away at the beginning of last year, but his dad would always tell us stories. Like, and I just every time I think of us telling the stories, and we always would joke of like, oh yeah, he just BS's these stories, and like he tells us the same stories every time, and then it's like, yeah, we legit do the same thing with each other. We do the same things. So yeah, it's interesting, and we could easily go for another 5 hours talking about this. I think, and maybe maybe we should take some more time to talk about this for the sake of our episode this week. We should wrap up to songs we've been listening to or jamming to, and we in spite of the theme of friendship, we decided to pick um, friendship songs. It took some coercing from Pat. Took some coercing from Pat, and you'll see why in a minute. Oh, but I completely forgot your challenge, Pat. What's your challenge for us this
Oh,
week?
yes. So, in the spirit of friendship and, us bitterly complaining every week how we don't have any social lives, in light of that, I thought that it would be a fun idea to get ourselves out of the comfort zone that at least I feel I'm very rooted in, and go and try something new. And, go out there, put yourself out there, see if, making friends really is as easy as just breaking the mold a little bit and going and, taking the left instead of a right. And I figured that we do that. We update next week, and who knows? Maybe somebody we meet next week will be somebody who will be on the podcast eventually. I think it'd be
I
fun.
don't know.
I think it'd be fun. I don't
It'll
think
be
there will
fun.
be
Yeah,
any video document proof since we record in our rooms on computers and we don't have any fancy equipment. But yeah, so that is our friendship challenge for the week. Is we're gonna put ourselves out there. We're gonna try something new, and we're gonna see if it pays off. And hopefully we'll get some good stories out of it. I think it'll be a good experience for both of us.
Yeah. I do you have any ideas? You have any ideas what you're gonna do?
Ooh, I have two ideas. One,
Okay.
I have lower back like discomfort all the time, and I've just constantly talked about how I should just like do some yoga, like do it. But
Oh.
I don't know how to do it. So there's a yoga studio in town name which I'm not going to mention because you still don't know what it is, and I'm not giving you any freebies.
So,
And so
Yorktown?
no.
What's the town? Oh man, what's the town that girl that Andrew dated lives in? Isn't that where you live? Like
Harrisburg,
where you
and
live?
no.
No, it wasn't Harrisburg. She wasn't from Harrisburg, was she?
I think so.
No, she was from. She was. I swear it's where you're living, and it's like Yorktown. Or it's York.
Listen, I
York.
am
You
there
live in
right
York.
now,
You
and
live
I do
in York.
not live in York. You're
Oh,
like triangulating my location. You're like narrowing it down. I'm like directly in the middle.
oh my gosh, I'm
But
looking it up. But anyway,
anyway,
go ahead.
so yeah. God, I forgot what I was saying. Something about, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So where I live there's a yoga studio, and I've been like thinking about going, but the hours are kind of strange, and I have to take care of dogs and everything. So this week I'm going to either do that, and then there's a much nerdier route I can go, which I'm much more comfortable with because it's what I did in college to make a ton of friends, and that's just go to like play video games with a bunch of random strangers at a random
Quidditch.
location for money.
Quidditch. You played Quidditch.
Yeah, I played Quidditch. Just a bunch of people straddling broomsticks, throwing balls at each other. Sounds like a good time, right?
Yeah.
Actually, my
There's so
college
many.
did have a Quidditch team. Did
There's so
yours?
many towns. No, I didn't.
No.
There's so many towns in between Harrisburg, York, and Lancaster. Those are like the big cities in between. I have no idea which one it could be.
Yep. Anyway,
I
so
see.
those.
I see Elizabethtown.
Oh, good. You're getting warmer. But anyway, those are my two ideas that I think I'm going to do. But I don't know how many people will show up to either of these things, so I may have to do a little bit of research, get my marketing team on it, see what I can scrape together before our next recording session. But I think those are
Marietta.
my
You live in Marietta.
yeah. You got it. Took you long enough, but you got it. You're never
God,
invited to my
okay.
porch to eat hoagies.
I'm coming to Marietta.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
coming to Marietta.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we'll love to have you.
It looks tiny.
It's incredibly small. It's like my apartment complex is barely within the city limits.
You ever gone to McCleary's Public House,
I have. It's quite delightful.
River Trail Brewing,
I have not been there, but I'm getting there.
Mulberry Thrill?
I have been there actually. That place is quite good.
I know. Okay. I'm kind of getting a feel of where you're at.
Hmm.
Are you by the Susquehanna Manor Inn?
I don't know what that is.
Well, it is a hotel in your
Find the
town.
sheets. and then I'm across from that.
That might be a little harder to find. Are you by the
Anyway,
Dollar General?
no, I'm down the road from it.
Yeah, okay, okay, that helps. That
Mike,
helps.
what are you gonna do for your thing before you
Oh,
derail everything?
um, yeah, I had a couple thoughts. Um, with my roommates, I've been the couple I live with. We've been playing cribbage. You ever play cribbage?
No, what is that?
It's like a board game card. It's like a card slash board game.
Hmm.
Um, basically, you try to make pairs of 15 and get to 31, and it's a whole thing. Get points, and you move your little piece around the thing. First one to anyone's. Anyway, one of the breweries here in town that I like does a cribbage tournament every Monday. People go and play cribbage and chess, which I suck at chess,
I was
but
about to say, are you a big
um,
chess guy? I don't really see you
I
as a big chess guy.
I enjoy. Listen, I after I watched The Queen's Gambit, I bought a chessboard.
Oh yeah, you and everybody else that watched The Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, I did. I bought a chessboard, and I play chess. I'm not very good. There's a lot better people here in Laramie. A lot of the students I meet with like play chess, and so like I'll move a piece, and they'll be like, "Ah, you sure you want to do that?" And I go, "Yes, okay. I know you can beat me, but this is my move. This is what I'm doing. This is what I think is best." But anyway, they do a chess and cribbage tournament Monday nights.
Ooh, are you gonna do
Um,
both?
I don't know if I'll do both,
Hmm.
but I'll probably just do one. Um, and then my other thought was mine, yeah, a trivia night at another brewery on Tuesdays.
Oh, that could be
Potentially
fun.
doing that.
Oh, actually, I'm going to a trivia night Wednesday.
There you go.
Can we just blackball that, or can I count that?
Well, I
Because
think you should
we're
try
going
your
with people that I already know.
yeah, you should try your yoga thing. But if it doesn't work out, you can count the trivia night.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do a little extra credit.
Yeah. So those are my initial thoughts, and then I was trying to think through like, is there anybody in Laramie that I know that I don't necessarily like hang out with, but I'm like, oh, like it would be cool to get to know you better. And then there's one guy that comes to mind, so I like might like figure out how I can like the next time I see him, like say, hey, would you want to grab food or get dinner or something? Which could be a lot of fun. So that was my thoughts. Those were my ideas.
I like them. Yeah, pretty solid.
But
Should be interesting to hear about next week.
yeah, and we'll continue our conversation about friendship, but because we've got a lot to say. But we should hit this hard out. We should hard out this under an hour. But
I agree.
um, songs we've been jamming to. I have been jamming to. Uh, okay, Maren Morris. Here's the thing. Maren Morris is a wannabe Casey Musgraves. My opinion. Don't hate me. Uh,
Ooh,
but she
some
has,
shade.
in spite of friendship, she has a song called "Good Friends," which I have enjoyed listening to, and I actually like have been listening to it this week. I didn't just think of that because of this episode, but I like legit have been listening to that this week, which is a good song. So anyway, that's my thoughts.
Okay. Well, as you can see, every time we are kind of on the fly with the songs of the week topic, I immediately think of my good buddy Chris Stapleton, who bails me out every single time that I do not prepare. He has a song called Friendship. That is all
Nice.
I got.
He also has a song called "Old Friends."
Really? That would have been a little bit better than just.
We should make that the theme song of our once hey, once we get title rights and everything, we can do it. Let's make "Old Friends" by Chris Stapleton
True.
our like title song.
We'll have him
It's
on an
pretty
episode.
slow.
It'll be a big thing.
Oh my God, I can't wait till when we have Chris Stapleton on the show.
Look forward to it.
We, we can talk about we can talk about how we went to a concert of his for $12. We paid $12 to see him.
I'll
That's
tell
how
him
much he means
he's
to us.
probably made like $100 net worth off of me.
Yeah, and tell him we got offered beers and weed at his concert.
I don't know what to say to that. We did not take
I
it.
love that.
We did
I
not take
love
it.
that. No, we did. We did. We had the Bud Lights. Anyway, uh,
Okay, we did not
um,
take the second thing.
well, no, actually, we didn't take it. But anyway, that's our show. Thanks for watching. Where's my thing?
Oh
Also,
yeah.
Come on, theme. This is my roommate in college, a good friend of mine, Mark. This is his business card. So I'm really thick and sticking to the theme.
Yeah, my theme connects the USB to the phone and makes them friends. So that's what I'm sticking with. So make sure follow us on social media: Three Old Friends, Instagram, Twitter. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. And yeah, we'll see you next week.